Ashok Leyland. The name strikes a chord with every Indian. They have been in the business of people carriers since India's independence. There's no terrain left in India that Ashok Leyland has not conquered, except for the heart of India car buyers. And I don't blame them for that, because all that they had on the lineup was trucks and buses. Until now. With changing times, one has to look out for new opportunities. And Ashok Leyland does just that while joining hands with Nissan. And this turns out to be more of a smart move rather than a stylish one. You see, the car, or better said van, is then an Evalia gone on a diet. But what's strange is that it tells you that loudly. Stile gets appealing clear lens broad headlamps along with broad grille that conveys very Ashok Leyland kind of visual characteristics. And nothing much has changed on the side either, except for the new wheels that are now 15-inch alloy on the top end variant, and the tires are broader too. And since this van is kin to the Evalia, it still gets sliding doors. The rear is also almost untouched except for the large reflector badges that you'd find on an Evalia. The key-operated central locking locks all the doors, but unlocks only the one on the driver's side. And to unlock all the other doors, all you have to do is press this unlock button on the center console. The good news is that even after all the diet plan in place, there's still a decent amount of Indian utility-driven ingenuity to be found in this van. Like the AC vents situated on either extremes of the dashboard, which also cool the bottles that sit right in front of them. There's ample amount of space to store away all the belongings in your pockets. Indian ingenuity continues as Ashok Leyland decides to provide 2 captain seats in the middle row and a sliding window for more ventilation. But not everything can be good with such a diet. The space between the 2 front seats that houses a bulky AC vent for the captain seats is more like a unplanned, unforeseen afterthought. There's good amount of legroom and headroom for the front and middle row passengers. However, if you're sitting in the 3rd row, you're going to feel left out because that's where the stringent diet plan is the most prominent. The last row seats are placed quite upright and there are no head restraints, which are quite imperative looking at the seat height. But what you do get is decent amount of legroom and a cup holder. As for the 3rd row seats, instead of opting for the reclinable ones, Ashok Leyland has gone ahead and given it non-reclinable seats that are now bolted to the floor with only the back that can now be collapsed to create a platform for some more luggage. It's a car, better said a van, with the famous international NV200 platform and the famous K9K engine that you'd find in the Micra, Sunny, Scala and Duster. In fact, this is the 2nd most used diesel engine in India today. It comes in 3 variants, the LE, the LS and the LX, all available in 7 and 8-seater.
The Ashok Leyland Stile is surprisingly easy to drive thanks to its light controls and very good all-around visibility. The electrically assisted steering is quite light at low speeds, and the 5.2 meter turning radius makes it very easy for the driver to maneuver this car around in the city. Now when you up the speeds, the electric steering does get heavier, so the highway experience is also good. Now the suspension setup on this car is a McPherson strut at the front and leaf springs at the rear. At low speeds, when the car is unladen, it does tend to bounce around a bit, but then you have to keep in mind that this car is meant to carry 7 to 8 people with their luggage. So as you load the car, the ride quality does get better. The chassis of this car is quite robust, so it takes bad roads and broken roads, potholes in its stride. The engine in this car, it's the familiar 1.5 litre K9K diesel engine from Renault. On the Stile, it puts out about 75 horsepower and 185 Newton meters of torque. There is no noticeable turbo lag, and it's quite easy to cruise in this car at low speeds or doing 100+ speeds on the highway. The gearbox is a bit notchy, and especially slotting it in to second from first or even third is a bit of a task. It requires quite a bit of effort. Between 70 and 110, you get a lot of road noise. Engine vibrations are well damped, but the road noise could have been insulated a little better.
It's got the DNA and the value proposition that is more towards the commercial vehicle. This great multi-utility platform can be put to use as a people carrier, as service van, or even an ambulance. On the flip side, you're getting a very modern platform and engine at a competitive price for the number of people and luggage it can accommodate with relative comfort.